Hola clase, ya casi terminamos el semestre. Casi terminamos el semestre. Ya estamos en los patios de Andalucía. Vamos a ver los patios de Andalucía. Andalucía es la región sur, el sur de España. Y les voy a dibujar un mapa aquí. I'm going to show you my awesome drawing skills, which is horrible. So here we have Portugal, and Andalucía is this part in the south, ¿no? Casi tocando África y Marruecos. Andalucía es una región espectacular. Si tienen la oportunidad de viajar a Andalucía, que vayan, por favor. Y en el mundo hispano, los patios privados son un componente crítico de cualquier casa. No es como el backyard que tenemos aquí en Estados Unidos. En los países hispanos los patios son más chiquitos y cerrados. Muchas veces se encuentran dentro de la casa. Por ejemplo, hay una casa así y adentro, so a square with a little square inside, the patio will be adentro de la casa, ¿no? Es como un parque privado donde se une para comer o pasar tiempo con la familia. So a square within a square. We have the casa here and the patio adentro, ¿no? Vamos a ver un video sobre el patio. Pues quiero que ustedes enfoquen en los 4 elementos básicos de los patios. The 4 basic elements of the patios, which they do mention in the video. So watch the video a few times if you have to, and then we'll come back.
Una de las características más destacadas de las casas de Andalucía es el patio. El patio ha sido un lugar muy importante en las casas y sitios públicos en Andalucía desde la invasión de los árabes en el siglo VIII. El patio funciona como un cuarto y es tan importante como los otros cuartos de la casa. Durante el verano, se utiliza mucho para escapar del calor. Íñigo Ulmán del Bando alquila una casa antigua en Sevilla con un patio muy típico del siglo XVII.
El patio lo usamos sobre todo en verano, puesto que es el sitio más fresco de la casa. Pues en verano usamos el patio tanto como para leer, como para comer.
Hay muchos tipos de patios, pero todos tienen 4 elementos básicos.
Hay 4 elementos muy típicos de los patios sevillanos, que son las columnas, las fuentes, la vegetación y la luz.
Los patios también están arreglados de forma geométrica. Esta es otra característica de la arquitectura árabe. José Bolaños López vive en Sevilla, en una casa construida en la segunda mitad del siglo XVIII. Esta casa es un buen ejemplo de la arquitectura popular andaluza de aquel siglo.
En esta casa hemos vivido desde 1987.
Cuando el doctor Bolaños y su esposa compraron la casa, tuvieron que hacer mucho trabajo.
O sea que la casa se ha reconstruido o se ha restaurado tratando de ponerla exactamente igual que estaba antes de llegar a la ruina.
La oficina del médico se encuentra en la planta baja y el patio funciona a veces como la sala de espera para los pacientes. La casa tiene 3 pisos. En el piso principal se encuentran la cocina, la sala, el comedor, un baño y el dormitorio del matrimonio. Tanto en las casas privadas como en los sitios públicos, el patio es muy importante en la vida de Andalucía. Los patios tienen historia. Son prácticos. Y sobre todo, muy hermosos.
Muy bien. Pues Sevilla, la ciudad de que hablan, Sevilla. Sevilla is my favorite city in Spain. It is absolutely gorgeous. Very hot in the summer, of course, because it's not a desert exactly, but it's very dry Mediterranean climate. Very influenced by Arabic architecture because the Arabs, they're actually called the Moros. The Moros, had control of the Iberian Peninsula from 711 until not entire control, 1492. And there was what was called the Reconquista of the Catholics started in the 800s and slowly moved south until in 1492, the last holdout called Granada was finally conquered, and later on the Moors will be expelled from Catholic Spain. In Granada, you'll find what's the Alhambra, which is a huge palace, which is now a tourist site, of course. But I mean, it's absolutely massive, and if you ever get the chance to go, it's probably one of the top 100 things to see before you die. And it's probably on those lists. It's absolutely spectacular. I really don't have words for it. I mean, watch a YouTube video on it if you need to. Muy bien. Enfoquen en los 4 elementos básicos de los patios. ¿Cuáles son los 4 elementos básicos de los patios? Primeramente tenemos las columnas. Hay las fuentes, fountains. Movement of water is very important, was very important in Moorish culture. So you'll see a lot of fountains, you'll see a lot of streams, just water moving. It's really impressive. I'm just babbling on about it now, but I love it, and everybody should go to Andalucia. También la vegetación. Y la luz. ¿A ustedes les gustaría tener un patio así? Would you like to have a patio like that? Actually, when I was watching the video, I've seen this video a few times, I was looking at my house thinking, I wonder how I could build a patio like that. I know I couldn't, but maybe I won't give it a try, but I would really love to have one. ¿Y cuántas fuentes quieren en su patio? Yo quiero por lo menos 2 fuentes. 2 fuentes en mi patio, ¿no? Pues, según ustedes, ¿cuál es el mejor patio? En la foto número 1, esto es slide 4, tenemos un patio muy típico de Norteamérica, ¿no? Que tenemos ladrillos, tenemos mesas, sillas, etc. Y aquí tenemos un patio muy típico de España o de Latinoamérica. Yo prefiero mejor este patio aquí que se encuentra en España y Latinoamérica, aunque me gusta también el patio que tenemos aquí, el otro patio. I just like to really have any kind of patio. I just have a lawn that's full of weeds right now that I have to try to fix. ¿Cuál es el mejor patio? Pues estos son los superlativos, ¿no? Se usan para expresar un extremo. Slide 5. The best, the worst, the tallest, and so on. Por ejemplo, patio 1 es el mejor patio. Yo soy el más alto de la clase. Español 102 es la clase más grande, ¿no? Pues aquí se puede ver, patio 1 es el mejor patio. So patio 1 is the best patio. So patio 1 is the best patio. Word for word, it corresponds with English. I am the most tall of the class, right? Yo soy el más alto de la clase. Spanish 102 is the biggest class. So the la or el is critical because that's the, right? So Spanish 102 is the biggest class. The, right? Pues unas cosas para charlar entre ustedes. ¿Cuál es el mejor, slide 6, cuál es el mejor restaurante de Spartanburg? ¿Cuál es el peor restaurante de Spartanburg? ¿Quién es la más alta estudiante de la clase? ¿O quién es el o la profesora más interesante de Converse aparte de mí? Por supuesto, yo soy el más interesante. But thinking apart from me, who would be your most interesting professor? So I want you to write out a few sentences with that in mind. Go for it. Pause the video. Muy bien, vamos a continuar. ¿Cuál es el mejor restaurante de Spartanburg? I'm trying to think. What is the best restaurant in Spartanburg? I'm going to go with Cribs Kitchen. Cribs is el mejor, is the best restaurante de Spartanburg. Right? Cribs es el mejor restaurante de Spartanburg. Cribs is the best restaurant in Spartanburg. Word for word, like English. What is the worst restaurant in Spartanburg? Oh, what's that one? The Beacon. Ugh, disgusting, right? The Beacon es, no, I need a verb, es el peor restaurante de Spartanburg. You know, I took my friend there from Canada. She came down and she really wanted to go to the Beacon because she watched a YouTube video of that guy who screams out the orders. I can't remember his name, but he's iconic anyway. So she really wanted to go to the Beacon. We went there and I had like onion rings, and they're the worst onion rings I've ever had, and fried okra. But the okra was sitting in like, it must have been an inch of hot oil in the it was disgusting. I couldn't even eat it. It was horrid. Would never go back there. So you're probably asking, when do we use el or when do we use la? And that's a good question. You have to look at what you're talking about. So we're talking about restaurante, right? Which is el restaurante, which is why we're using el, right? So ¿quién es la más alta estudiante de la clase? We're going to say X, because I don't know offhand. I have two different 102 classes, so I don't know who is the tallest in each. Es la más alta estudiante, etc., etc. So X is the tallest. And you guys are all female, so we're going to use la más alta, right? Because estudiante has got to be la. ¿Quién es el o la profesor más interesante de Converse? Oh, there's so many. I love everybody at Converse. And don't tell anybody this, but I'm going to put Dr. Avery Williams, because we click like crazy. So, Doctora, she's one of my BFFs here. Williams es la profesora más interesante de Converse. Don't tell anybody else, please. This is just a secret between us. Now, there are lots of fascinating people, but if you've never talked to Dr. Williams, ask her about her travels. She has gone to so many different places. She travels all the time. She is so fascinating to talk to, and you'll learn a lot from her. So, Doctora Williams es la, because it's profesora, she's female, right? La profesora más interesante de Converse. So we're not going to focus too much on the superlatives. There is an activity in your workbook on it, but I'm probably not going to put this on the final exam, and you probably won't encounter it too often. So if you get it from this, that's pretty much all you need, right? Bien, slide 7. Comparación de igualdad. Esto sí es importante. Comparaciones de igualdad. Por ejemplo, Marisa quiere más fuentes que Elena. Elena quiere menos fuentes que Marisa. We already know this, right? We know she wants more, she wants less, but what if they want the exact same number of fountains? Okay, well, how do we compare those? Elena quiere tantas fuentes como Marisa. Tanto como. So comparaciones de igualdad, when you're comparing things that are equal, it's a little more complex. First, you have to decide if what you're comparing is a noun, an adjective adverb, or a verb. This is slide 8. So a noun. Yo tengo tantas manzanas como tú. I have as many apples as you. Y esto es tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas, y como. Word for word corresponds with English. I have as many. So tantas is as many apples as you, right? And the tanto, tanta has to agree with whatever the noun is. So here we have manzanas, which is femenino, plural. So it has to be tantas, tantas manzanas. And the como is critical. You need the como. Tanto que does not go together. So if I see you on the exam, I'm probably going to do this in the exam. So if I see you use tanto y que, I am going to put a big X through it and mark it wrong, give you 0 points, because tanto does not go with que. It's más, menos, and que, tanto, and como. If you have an adjective or an adverb, por ejemplo, yo corro tan rápido como tú. I run as fast as you. Word for word, yo, I, corro, run, tan, as, rápido, fast, como, as, tú, you. Yo corro tan rápido como tú. I run as fast as you. This is a little bit easier. It's just tan, then your adjective, then como. Tan, adjective, adverb, and then como. That's it. You don't have to change the tan to tantos, whatever. No, it's just tan, because adjectives and adverbs don't have number and gender. Or verbo. Yo escribo tanto como tú. I write as much as you. Yo, I, escribo, write, tanto, as much, como, as you. Tanto, and we're going to get rid of this. Tanto como, right? No, nothing in between, just tanto como. So the verbo plus the tanto como. Tanto, tantas, tanto plus the noun plus como for nouns. Tanto plus adjective plus como. Verbo plus tanto como, right? Muy bien. Pues vamos a practicar. We're back to this again. So I want you to pause the video, work these out. These are all equal. And I'm actually going to help you out a little bit here because I'm going to give you exactly what you're comparing here. If it's an adjective, verb, or a noun. So pause the video. I want you to write a sentence out. We'll come back in a sec and we'll see if you're right. Slide 9. Muy bien. So here we're comparing an adjective. So we know it's got to be tan plus adjective plus como. So mi nota, we need a verb, is tan alto, or alta, because nota is feminine, como tu nota. My grade is as high as your grade. Word for word, it corresponds with English. One of the big things that students usually forget here is the verb. You need a verb in here. If you don't have a verb, it's not a sentence. So, mi nota es tan alta como tu nota. Muy bien. Yo y mi amigo. Adjectives, alto, bajo, right? So we're comparing adjectives. We know it's got to be tan plus adjective plus como. So, yo soy, we need a verb, tan alto como tú. Now we could use bajo here, right? But it'd be pretty weird to say 6'2" and use it as a bajo. So if I'm 6'2", my friend is 6'2", I probably wouldn't go up to my friend and say, "Oh, you're just as short as I am." That would sound really funny, wouldn't it? But maybe if your friend is 4'9" and you're 4'9", you go up and say, "Oh, you're just as short as I am." So really, this is kind of, it depends on how tall the people are, right? It's not technically incorrect, right? It's fine, but it would sound funny. Muy bien. Yo corro, él corre. And we're going to use the verb correr. Now we know that we're both running the same amount. So with correr, with a verbo, it's got to be tanto. Oh, I'm going to flip back here. With a verbo, it's got to be verbo plus tanto como. So yo, we need a verb, corro, then throw in tanto como. Él corre. I run as much as he runs. Yo corro tanto como él corre. Muy bien. Ella tiene 3 manzanas. Natalia tiene 3 manzanas. Okay, let's go back here. It's a noun, so we know we got to make it agree. Plus the noun, plus como. So, ella tiene, we need a verb, manzanas. Femenino, plural, so tantas. Tantas manzanas como Natalia. So, ella has as many apples as Natalia. Muy bien. Ella tiene tantas manzanas como Natalia. Muy bien. Tú escribes, yo escribo. El verbo escribir. So, with the verbo, we know we have verbo plus tanto como. Okay. So, tú escribes tanto como Mario. You write as much as Mario. You write as much as Mario. Tú escribes tanto como Mario. Estudiantes en 102, 19. Estudiantes en 101, 19 también, ¿no? So we're now the number of students. So we're going to go español. So we're just going to write 102. We need a verb. Tiene. Número de estudiantes. Is estudiantes masculine or feminine? Well, at converse, it's going to be feminine, at least for the next year. Singular or plural, it's going to be plural. So, 102 tiene tantas, plus noun, estudiantes, como 101. Muy bien. We got it. We nailed this. We totally got this, right? We're going to put this to the test and do a whole bunch of different kinds of comparisons. So I want you to go to 10.25 in your book, que está en la página 316. Y ustedes van a hacer 3 comparaciones. Pueden ser comparaciones de igualdad, pueden ser comparaciones de desigualdad, y al final ustedes van a decidir cuál es el mejor apartamento. Bien? Put the video on pause, make 3 comparisons, decide which is best. Adelante. Ok, vamos a ir, ¿no? Vamos a ver. Okay, so here we have the price, right? We can say apartamento 3 es el más caro. So apartamento 3 es el más caro, ¿no? Not caro, not with 2 R's, because that means car. Lo siento. Caro. So you guys can make up any number of different comparisons. I'm just going to give you guys some different things to go on, right? ¿Cuántos baños? Esto tiene 2 baños, 1 baño, 5 baños. So apartamento 3 tiene más baños que 2 y 1. Okay, ¿qué más? Tiene jacuzzi, es bello. Pues 3 habitaciones, 1 habitación, 4 habitaciones. Ok, bien. So, apartamento 2 tiene menos habitaciones que 1 y 3. There's another one. ¿Qué más? I wish I had a tanto como here, but I don't see any tanto como. 2, 1, bello. We're going to pretend like 1 and 2 are just as beautiful as each other, right? Although I figure number 1 is more beautiful than number 2. So apartamento 2 es, so if we want to say beautiful, it's bello. Is that an adjective, a noun, or a verb? That's an adjective, right? So if we flip back to our example, an adjective, we know it's going to be tan plus adjective plus como, right? Es tan bello. And we say bello, not bella, because apartamento is masculino. Tan bello como Apartamento 1. ¿Cuál es mejor? ¿Cuál es mejor? I'm going to say apartment 3 is probably the best. Apartamento 3 es el mejor, is the best apartamento. So you guys could have any number of different comparisons, right? As long as you're on that same track. I just wanted to give you a few examples. And that's it. We're going to go back to our slides now. Slide 9. We already did this. We went through that. De práctica 10.25. Ya lo hicimos in the workbook. You guys can do 10.16, 10.14, 10.15. And you, 10.16 is writing out answers, so I'll check that manually. 14 and 15. Keep in mind the chart we did. Figure out if you're comparing, if it's more or less, just take into account everything we've already done. So I'm going to link up some videos here that'll show you how to do superlatives in Spanish and how to do comparisons of equality. I'm also going to put below in the comments below some practice that you can do if you need more practice with this. Comparisons aren't the most important thing ever. I am going to put them on the final exam, so you do need to know them. The superlatives, I will not put on the final exam because that's probably a little bit of step too far right now. But other than that, I think you guys can nail this. I really, really do. Y ya está. Nos vemos mañana.